Te Ao Mārama, the Maori genesis and the eternal connection to land, life, and legacy, the Maori creation story, or Wakapapa genealogy, is a complex and deeply spiritual origin myth that explains how the universe, Earth, and life came into existence according to Maori tradition. These ancient beliefs, passed down through generations orally, are deeply ingrained in Maori culture, connecting them to the land, sea, and sky. Rooted in poetic and symbolic language, these stories were traditionally recounted through chants, carvings, songs, and storytelling, all of which play a significant role in maintaining and transmitting their heritage. In Maori cosmology, the beginning of existence was Te Kore, the void. This is described as a time of potential, an endless, formless space where nothing yet existed, but held the energy and possibility of creation. From Te Kore emerged Te Pa, or the long night, a period of darkness where nothing had yet taken form, but the seeds of creation began to stir. These stages reflect the Maori belief that existence unfolded gradually, with the world evolving step by step from emptiness to light, each stage filled with potential until it gave birth to the universe. The dawn of creation, Ringi and Papa, the primordial beings of Maori mythology are Ranginui, Rangi, and Papachuanuku, Papa, the Sky Father and Earth Mother. Ringi and Papa are depicted as lovers locked in a close embrace. Ringi lay above, while Papa lay beneath him, their bodies entwined in a union that blocked out all light, creating a realm of perpetual darkness between them. In this dark world, they gave birth to several offspring, including the major gods of the Maori pantheon. Each of their children represents a different force of nature or aspect of the universe. Some of the most notable include Tain Mahuta, god of the forests and birds; Tawiramadia, god of the winds and storms; Tangaroa, god of the sea and its creatures; Rongo, god of peace and cultivated foods; Homiataiktaik, god of uncultivated plants; Tumatawenga, god of war and humanity. The children of Rangi and Papa grew restless in the darkness. They longed for light, space, and the ability to move freely, but their parents' close embrace kept them imprisoned. After much discussion, they resolved to separate their parents, to allow light into the world and bring forth creation. The Great Separation. Each of the gods had a different view on how to approach the problem. Tawiramadia, the god of winds and storms, opposed the idea of separating his parents, fearing the consequences of such a drastic act. However, his brothers, especially Tain Mahuta, felt that the separation was necessary to bring light into the world. One by one, the brothers attempted to separate Rangi and Papa, but their attempts were in vain until Tain Mahuta stepped forward. He positioned himself between his parents, bracing his feet against Papa and pushing against Rangi with all his strength. After a great struggle, he finally managed to separate them, forcing his father up to become the sky and allowing his mother to remain as the earth. As light flooded the world for the first time, Rangi and Papa cried in sorrow over their forced separation, and their tears created rivers and streams, giving life to the land. This moment is known as Te Ao Mārama, the world of light, representing the awakening of consciousness, knowledge, and life. In the Maori worldview, this separation represents the beginning of the natural world, where each deity takes on their role in the cosmic order. The ongoing relationship between Ringi and Papa remains a symbol of love, loss, and the delicate balance of nature. Tawiramadia's wrath, the conflict of elements. Tawiramadia, the god of winds, was furious at the separation of his parents and refused to accept the new order. In his anger, he retreated to the heavens alongside his father, Rangi, and plotted revenge against his brothers for their role in the separation. Gathering his forces, Tawiramadia summoned violent storms, cyclones, and hurricanes to lash against the earth. As he attacked his brothers to reclaim control, his wrath was first directed toward Tain Mahuta, god of the forests, sending fierce winds that uprooted trees and stripped forests bare. Yet, Tain and his forest children withstood the attack. Tawiramadia then turned his fury toward Tangaroa, god of the sea, causing enormous waves and floods to rise against the land. Tangaroa retaliated by sending his children, the fish and sea creatures, to battle Tawiramadia's winds. The battle left a mark on nature itself. Some creatures of Tangaroa sought refuge on land, evolving over time into reptiles and other forms, symbolizing the eventual split between sea and land life. The ongoing rivalry between Tangaroa and Tawiramadia is reflected in Maori attitudes toward the sea and weather, as the two elements remain in a constant cycle of clash and balance. Despite Tawiramadia's relentless assault, his brothers ultimately held their ground, and a delicate truce was established among the deities. Their conflict represented the dynamic and often turbulent forces of nature, showing how each god's influence remained integral to the world's functioning. Humanity's origin, Tain and Hainahuan. With the world now formed and balanced, Tain Mahuta, who had brought forth the light, sought to populate the earth with living beings. He decided to create humans, beings who would connect with both Ringi and Papa, and who would carry a spark of divine essence. Tain traveled to Kurawaka, a sacred place where the red clay of Papa lay, and there he fashioned the first human figure, a woman named Hainahuan, the earth-formed maiden, breathing life into her. She came to life, and thus became the first woman, bearing a connection to the gods and to the earth itself. Tain and Hainahuan became the progenitors of the human race, giving rise to humankind. Later, Tain and Hainahuan had a daughter named Haintaitama, who grew up without knowing her true parentage. When Haintaitama discovered that Tain was both her father and husband, she was horrified and fled to the underworld, becoming Hainu Itiipa, the goddess of death. She declared that she would welcome all her children, humans, upon their passing, thus introducing the concept of mortality into the human experience. Through Hainu Itiipa, the Maori understand death as a natural passage, an inevitable return to the embrace of the earth. Legacy and cultural significance. The Maori creation story is more than just a myth. It's a profound explanation of life, nature, and existence. Each god represents an essential element, and their interactions explain the ever-present forces at play in the natural world. This story teaches values of respect, harmony, and balance with nature, as well as the importance of understanding one's place within the web of life. In traditional Maori society, the genealogy of these gods is reflected in the concept of waka papa, or genealogy. Every element in the universe, from plants to animals to humans, has a waka papa, a lineage that connects them back to Ringi and Papa. This creates an interwoven relationship with the land, one that is viewed as both sacred and ancestral. Today, the Maori creation narrative continues to resonate deeply within Maori communities, influencing art, dance, carving, and cultural rituals. It is a story of origins and identity, reminding the Maori people of their connection to their ancestors and to the cosmos itself. It underscores the spiritual duty to protect and preserve the environment, treating it as a living ancestor with whom they share a sacred bond. The separation of Rangi and Papa and the trials of their children serve as timeless lessons about the necessity of harmony and the value of all parts of creation, a worldview that continues to shape Maori culture and spirituality.